All right. Hello, everybody. This here is our first reaction video that we meant to shoot for
the new Dave Chappelle special.
the new Dave Chappelle special, which came out on Netflix yesterday.
Interesting shit.
Very.
Yeah.
I mean, the man is considered by many to be the GOAT.
Well, and rightfully so. I mean, space juice.
Yeah.
Come on. Who can think of that?
And not even that. I mean, his career is really, really interesting because he started off as a comedian and he was brilliant at it. At a young age, he was brilliant at it. And then he did this move that I don't know of any other entertainer or comedian or actor who did the same. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Walking away from a whole lot of money.
$50 million at a young age.
Wow.
Which is, I mean, I wouldn't do it.
It's crazy.
I wouldn't. I mean, how could you walk out on that much money when you're in your 20s?
I can't imagine it. I honestly cannot. Like, anyone would sell out.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really crazy because you hear a lot of people say, oh, that kind of person sold out, this person sold out, blah, blah, blah. But you never know until you're in their spot. Like, you're offered like $10 million, $20 million to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And then you can say no if you have the balls to say no. And that's fucking insane to me.
Yeah, man. And for him specifically, it was a bummer because right after he ended that show, we stopped seeing him. For more than 15 years. I mean, that's it. He was gone. He was gone. Right.
And he went back home. Africa, baby.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what the fuck he was doing in Africa for 15 years.
I don't know about that, but what I know for sure is that he made a hell of a comeback.
I mean, you cannot not make a hell of a comeback after saying no to $50 million. Like, there's so much weight on whatever you're gonna say next after you pull such a move.
You're right.
Come on, like,
You're right.
It's like everybody's waiting.
But it took him time. It's not 2 years, not 5 years. It's more than a decade.
Yeah, it definitely did take a long break. But, I mean, the first thing he did when he came back was a whole lot of coverage, though. He had to explain himself.
Yeah.
And boy, I don't know, I still cannot understand how he could walk away from that money.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know what are his motives. Like, I can understand that he was he was punched down, taken from his show.
Yeah.
He was punched down at because he felt like he was in this hole. He didn't own himself anymore.
Absolutely
not. He was gonna go back to slavery.
Yeah.
And that's something that he just could not swallow. Like, he didn't have a say anymore. And he just couldn't take it, no matter how much money they offered him.
Yeah.
And so it's really, it takes balls, man.
Yeah. So he came back, and from then on, it's special after special, success after success. There isn't a single comedy award out there that this guy didn't grab.
Gifted, man.
Gifted.
Just one word.
Gifted. What is it that you like the most about this? I know you have other favorite comedians. I know.
I mean,
but what is it that you like about this guy?
Dare I say, Dave Chappelle is not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, he's definitely top 3.
Yeah.
And of course, by many, he's the GOAT, right? He's the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
However, I would still say that his storytelling is amazing. Like, you cannot beat that. His social commentary, you cannot top that. I don't think there is a comedian out there who can touch on specific and really interesting social phenomena like he does. It's really fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd agree with you and say that there are other comedians that would make me laugh more than Dave does. They would crack more hilarious jokes.
Yeah.
I'd agree. But the one thing that Chappelle does that I haven't experienced with any other comedian is that he also makes you feel. He makes you think.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely, yeah.
You see his show, you see his special, and you're left with food for thought.
Yeah.
Right. If not inspiration.
He definitely knows where the line is and just how much you need to step out of the line to be controversial, but not to be cancelled. And it's fucking hilarious.
Let's jump to the special. Let's jump to the special, man. All right. So this special is called what?
The Closer, I think.
Or the Closer. closer?
Yeah.
Is it the closer or the closer?
I think it's the closer, like, because he says he's done in the beginning.
Yes, he did.
It's like he says that this is my last stand-up
All
for
right.
a long time.
But let me remind you of something that featured in the beginning of the special. There was a guy who was leafing through his, like, not posters, but covers of his special. Remember, it was Stick and Stones and all the other, and then he got to the closer, and before he pulled it out, I could see other covers. Yeah, I could see other covers.
He did say, like, this is his last show for now.
Yeah.
Which is an open-ended statement.
Of course.
Like, of course, if he can make another $10 million, he's gonna do it.
Of course. I mean, and not even for the money. I mean, if I'm that talented, and I love obviously he loves what he does, why would he stop?
It's not really because of the money that he said no. It's just that the fact that he's not free to do what he wanted to do. So as long as he feels free to do what the fuck he wants to do, I don't think he's not motivated by money.
Yeah.
He's really motivated by money. He's not afraid to say it either. The first thing he says is like, I'm rich and famous.
I'm famous. First thing I want you to know about me is that I'm rich and famous. So I can say whatever the fuck I want. And then, man, the issues that he's touching on, everybody would get cancelled for.
I mean, again, cancelled, yes, I guess, because he does have a weight. Like, he's really in that area, is in that spot where he can push a little further than the regular Joe. You know, any normal comedian who dares say space Jews is not gonna last long, especially in a Jew-dominated field.
Yeah, I mean, not even that. I mean, we'll get to that in a while.
Everything is Jew-dominated.
We'll get there in a while, because the Jew. I don't know, the Jew area that he's touching, for the first time I hear him talk about Jews, it's really, you know, it's out of this world, like it's something else. But let's first focus on the LGBTQ.
LBGTQ. He insists on saying they like to call themselves the LGBTQ, but he kept saying the LBGTQ. Was I the only one who noticed
I don't know.
I think he did that on purpose. I think he was doing that just to fucking tease them. The LBGTQ. That was hilarious. What do you think about that? I mean, especially as a Moroccan. How do you feel about the LGBTQ?
Come on, man. I mean, we're still. I feel. I mean,
you don't want to get cancelled.
No, fuck that shit. We still have a bigger margin of freedom to say whatever the fuck we want about that movement and a lot more than North America, than other leftist states. Of course, we have more margin, and I want to keep this thing focused on what he thinks of the LGBT, because he talked enough about LGBT movement in the previous specials.
Always does.
But this time he said it right. He said, I want to close the topic on this. I want to answer all the questions that you still guys have got me.
It got really dark at some point too. I mean, I don't want to burn it for everyone else, but it got really dark with his friend.
We are burning it for everyone else.
Spoiler alert, I don't know. Honestly speaking, the jokes that he used to make about the LGBTQ community is... How can I say this? As a Moroccan, I feel like they were not that harsh. Like, it was just normal teasing, regular teasing. I mean, he said way worse shit about white people, about, I don't know, all kinds of people.
Well, he said my problem has always been with white people.
Exactly.
And then when I thought I got the white man, he stood up and said,
I'm a woman.
I'm a woman now. Call me a girl.
Yeah, call me a girl. And we're back at it again. That was hilarious. Reminds me of that joke. Back at it again.
And we're back at it again. Oh,
like the feminist.
The feminist movements. You know what the feminist movement needs? It needs a male leader.
Yeah.
I do it. I'll do it. I'll take you ladies to the promised land.
Yeah, I'll take care of you. I'll make you equal, give you equal rights and everything.
All I want back.
All you gotta do.
Alright, you go ahead and watch it for yourself.
That kills me.
It's really nice.
That was good. That was really good.
Alright, but what astounded me in the whole thing is that he took a couple of jabs at Jews for the first time. And he did it in a very unexpected way.
The second time was really out of nowhere. Like, the second time he mentioned space Jews, I didn't see that coming at all. The first time, like, yeah, it made sense.
Aliens.
The second
Aliens.
time.
All
The
right.
second time
I don't know
was
if we
like,
can play the actual footage on YouTube, you know, because of copyrights.
I think so. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
as long as we're reacting to it, I think it's fair play.
you think so?
Yeah, I think I've seen people do that.
Okay. So we might roll what he actually said, or we just could retell the joke,
Yeah.
right?
Well, how about that? Go ahead.
Okay. So he said, first one was, I contracted the virus and I was on lockdown for 10 days, so I had nothing to do for 10 days. So I kept watching all this shit. Aliens? What is it with the aliens? And then I had an idea for a movie, you know? So the aliens came to Earth and we realized that these guys lived here on Earth thousands of years ago. And you know, they found out a way to do interstellar travel.
Yeah.
And then the planet they were on got fucked up, or they fucked it up, so they decided to come back home.
And own back their land.
And claim it for their own,
Reclaim.
to clone him.
Yeah.
And the movie
It's called
is called Space Jews.
Space Jews.
Man, that is...
Makes sense.
It makes perfect
me.
sense.
Speaking of which, I mean, it's funny and all, but like, how do you interpret that?
What do you mean?
Like space Jews and real Jews. How do you interpret that? Like, is it really their right to come back after leaving that land for so long and just reclaim
that's
it?
the point. The analogy he used to explain the situation or what's going on in the land of Palestine is genius, because it makes you think how outlandish the claim is.
It is.
You left a place thousands of years ago, and now you come back, and and what strengthens this, now to put you in context, is the second story.
Yeah,
the second story. You remember the second story? You want to tell the second story?
No, you go.
Go ahead, please.
I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the second story is a real story. A man, I think, in Georgia, it was a slave, and he got freed by his master.
I remember.
And he was given a plot of land.
Yeah.
And this dude was genius. Like he had an eye for tending the land. So he took care of it and started making money. And you know what this guy did? He went ahead and bought a bunch of slaves. And he didn't just become a slave owner, he became a slave breeder.
Yeah.
And he deployed tactics and ways to
even white people didn't think of.
Look at him and say,
like, damn,
man,
that's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. And so how could you do it? How could you perpetuate the same atrocities that you've been through?
On your own people.
On your own people.
Yeah.
And you know, and the interesting thing is that they're making a movie about this guy. And strangely enough, this movie's called Space Jews. How do you...
Oh man, that one stings. That one stings.
You know how
that stings harder than the first one.
It did. It's got impact, you know, because you know he's
good setup. Good setup. Like, yeah, it's like his own people, and it's definitely their own people. I mean, it's not like they came out of, I don't know, a fucking hole in the sky. It's
absolutely.
Like, it came from that land.
Yeah.
Technically, they are the same people. Maybe different faith, different beliefs, but the same people on the same land.
Absolutely.
And it's really crazy how they can do that to their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perpetuate the same monstrosity.
Yeah, even worse. They went even further.
You know how I knew that it was that it hit them hard, and this is something that I might talk about later. Yeah. But there was silence when he said those couple of jokes. No one dared laugh out loud, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going all the way."
Yeah.
I'm going all the way meant to me that I'm criticizing whatever the fuck I want to criticize. Yeah. I'm going to talk about anything. I want to speak out about any injustice that I see out there. And he does. He spoke about the LGBT, right? Yeah. He spoke about things that other people, like I said, would have been cancelled for mentioning.
Just on that point, I feel like Dave Chappelle is one of the few, if not the only comedian who actually dares, as he said, to actually like point out something in a serious manner rather than jokes. Because I've heard 1,000 comedians make jokes about Jews, like they have all the money, like big nose, whatever, blah blah blah. But it's always guised in this, like, it's a joke. But he's not.
He's not joking about it. No.
He's not fucking around.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a story.
He'll make you laugh about it, but he'll also make you think
about it. Yeah. And that is definitely, it's like a unique thing.
Maybe we'll end on this note.
All right.
This guy's got power. You know how he's got power?
All right, how?
The way he talks. He did something again that's unheard of. I don't know of any other comedian or someone in the entertainment business that did this. Remember earlier we said that he walked out of a $50 million deal. Let us give people some closure about that. Like, what is it? What is it exactly that he did?
Well, he was doing this show.
Okay.
It's called the Chappelle Show.
All right.
Right. And basically, he was asked into this interview meeting thing, and he was asked to sign this contract, and everybody kept telling him that this is a good contract.
Trust us, Dave.
Trust us, Dave. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Don't worry about it. Whatever. He did, and then he realized that he was basically owned. Right? He had masters now, and he didn't own even his own name.
And like, they were making tons of money.
Yeah, of course.
In proportion to what he was making.
The phrasing was actually really, really interesting. It was in perpetuous infinity or something like this.
Oh yeah.
Like we own your
name. And perpetual infinity. Like we own the name of the show forever and ever, and you could
even
never use
die,
it. Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We own you.
So during that period of time in which he was gone, more than a decade, Comedy Central was making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Broadcasting that show all over the place, right? Selling it to other streaming networks, including Netflix.
Yeah.
And during that time, he wasn't making a penny out of it because he signed the contract.
Yep.
So if he took that issue to any court on earth, they wouldn't have owned him nothing. He wouldn't have got a dime out of that. So what did he do?
He went to the real boss.
He went on stage and he spoke to people the way he speaks. And he asked them simply not to watch the show.
Boycott me.
Boycott me.
Don't boycott anyone. Boycott me. Boycott Dave Chappelle.
And they were convinced.
That was amazing.
And he did something else too.
He got it, by the way.
They sat down on a table with him and they gave him, we don't know how much he settled for, but he seemed happy about it.
Yeah.
He seemed happy about it to the point that he started complimenting them again.
I mean, he kind of realized something that a lot of show business people don't realize, is that the real boss is the people. Like the real boss, like the one who actually makes or breaks it, especially in the cancel culture now. It's like, how can you not realize that the people are gonna make or break you? So if you go and you're honest and genuine about it, and you're asking the people, the ones that are actually making you who you are, you're asking them for something, it's gonna happen. Doesn't matter what contract you sign, especially if it's kind of, I don't know, if it's like illegitimate, morally speaking. Right? You're gonna get your way.
Yeah. So he did the unthinkable.
Yeah.
He got
broke free.
Refunded or recompensated or whatever the word is.
And it's interesting how Netflix responded quickly to his demands. They took down the show immediately.
Well, come on, he's a big asset. He's a very important asset for them.
I called Netflix and I was like, I saw you were streaming my show and it didn't make me feel good.
And that's it. They said, we're taking it off the network. Yeah. It was good. It was a good move. And I believe it helped. It helped him get...
And it helped Netflix. Yeah. I mean, it was a PR move, 100%, but it worked for both parties.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that was Dave Chappelle's story.
The closer.
The closer.
All right, peace out.
Ta-da.
Cheers.